guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a pretty simple look on my face, but it's a little different. It's going to be sort of like the two different types of people I believe there are when it comes to love and romance. I've seen some Instagrammers do a look sort of like this, but I just kind of took my own take on it, and it basically came from I was having a conversation with two of my friends, and one of them straight up said, no, love doesn't exist, and kind of pessimistic. And then there's the other one who is always loving everyone. She's like, oh, well, I've been in love 5 times now, that sort of person. And so I'm going to basically cut my face down the middle and display what I think both sides of the people are. So I'm gonna have some fun, but it's gonna be kind of a drastic look. So the first thing we're going to start out with is actually gluing down our brows so that we can give them totally different effects. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to just start with some Elmer's glue. And I am just going to take it and kind of just move my brows a little and immediately start pulling up. We'll get him falling for a stranger. You can already see they look crazy. Ugh. And do that with both brows. Now, after you have a good coat of that on there, I'm just going to cover them up with some powder to hopefully set them. I look crazy. I'm just using some translucent powder that I bought at the store. It's Wet n Wild. But I'm just going to take my beauty blender and I'm just going to pack the powder on top of that. So, as you can see, I wiped off some of the excess. The powder sticks exactly where the glue was. And now I'm going to completely coat them in my foundation, and hopefully they'll disappear a little better because I do have darker brows because I'm a brunette, so fingers crossed. I am putting a nice thick coat directly on the brows because, again, we want them to be gone for this because I'm going to be giving myself new eyebrows. And I know they say never put liquid on top of powder, but this is a special case, so I'm just going to try and blend that in. I'm now going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm going to be putting it on my brows and on my eyes, just because I would normally put it on my eyes anyways. And again, we are trying to get rid of these as best as we can. So this is the best I could get with trying to cancel them, unfortunately, because I've had to redo them a few times, but as you can see, my hairs are still there, but they are more canceled out. I have to continue blending everything. I had to put on about 18 layers of foundation. But after I finish with that, I'm going to powder my whole face to let it all set because it's thick and cakey right now. And then we will get into some more color. So now that I am flat and lifeless, I'm going to go in with some bronzing powder just to hopefully try and contour a little bit. So now that I've had just a little bit of dimension back to my face, I am going to go with the eyebrows because I cannot stand looking like this with these really weird, like barely there brows. It's not happening. So I am going to do this half as my more pessimistic, and this half is more my hopeless romantic side. So for this side, for the eyebrow, I'm going to actually just go in with a really simple, just black eyeliner pencil, and I'm going to just start sketching out the shape that I want. And this is just a really messy sketch. I'm going to be filling it in later with some liquid liner to clean it up and make it nice and sharp. Oh, that is so ugly. So I think I win for world's ugliest eyebrow. And on this side, I'm actually going to be going in with my red eyeliner and tracing it out just to start with. I am now going to be going in with the tiniest bit of Skip from the James Charles Morphe palette, and I'm going to be using that for the front of my brow because it's a hot pink. And I'm just using a small little angled brush to help me with that. So now that I have the general shapes for both, I am going to move on to the eyes, which I'm excited for. So going on the darker side, I'm going to be dipping into the shade Spooky from the James Charles palette, which is just a black. And I'm going to be packing that directly onto my lid. So now that I've messily packed that on, I also just add a little bit of black to obviously the lower lash line and then the waterline, just to basically cancel this out. I kind of want it to be just like a dark hole of sad nothingness. Yeah, that makes sense. But now I'm going to just start blending out the edges so it doesn't look so harsh. And that is a perfect black hole. So now that we have this gorgeous eye makeup done, I know, very complicated, I'm going to move on to the eye over here, and I'll be adding some more little details and effects to hopefully bring the look together and get my point across. So I'm going to start off with dipping into Pinkity Drinkity from, again, the James Charles palette. I'll probably be using mostly that palette for this video just to make it a little easier. This shade right here, it's just a very, very, very light, subtle pink. Most of the time, half the time it doesn't even show up, but I actually like it as a really pretty transition color or a base color whenever I do a pink look, because I think it helps things blend a little better. So now that we've got that shade fully on there, again, super light, barely there. My brush doesn't even really look dirty. I'm actually going to be dipping into Skip, again, what I use on the front of my eyebrow. I need to blend that out better. I'll probably work on blending the eyebrow out in a little bit too. I'm going to be dipping into Skip, and I am going to probably layer this more in the crease out here. And I'm not worried so much about blending right now, it's just getting that pigment on there. I know I said I was mostly going to be using the James Charles palette, but I'm also going to be dipping into just a little bit of the Take Me Back to Brazil palette by BH Cosmetics. It's a lighter pink. I'm just going to be putting that at the very top to just sort of mellow out the harshness of this pink. Because again, this is the softer, loving side of the face. I am now going to be using a little bit of Love That. And I'm going to put that again on the crease because I think I'm going to cut it, actually. That's what I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a little bit of that, like I said, right into the crease and just kind of blend it up with the other two shades I already put on there. And just using my Shape Tape and a flat brush, I will cut my crease. Now I'm going to be using NYX's Glitter Goals, and I am going to be using their gorgeous glittery pink shade called Metropical, and just put that into the place we just cut. I also just packed on a little bit of the shade Sissy from the Jaclyn Hill palette because it has a gorgeous rose gold effect to it, which I really enjoy. So now that we have that on, I am going to go in with a little bit of Love That, actually, under the eyes and just blend that out a little bit. Not as messy as this one, of course, but, you know. So I added some eyeliner and a little bit of mascara to both sides, and now I am going to be going in with some false lashes. I'm just going to be using my Duo lash glue because it's cheap and I can get it at Target and Walmart, so not inconvenient. I'm just going to be putting a thin layer of that onto the lash line and applying them. So now that I have both of my lashes applied, as you can see, they are very dramatic. The side is still drying a little. You can see the white on them from the glue. It will fully dry down and become translucent, but now I'm going to move on to more of the effects on my face. So I think I am actually going to do the darker side first again, just because I've been doing it the whole time. I was thinking about doing kind of a slightly creepy, drippy teardrop effect. And for that, I am not going to be using eyeshadow. I actually have some black cream face makeup, so I'm going to be using that, and I'm just going to be using a smaller brush, and then I might have to get in and detail it a little more, and I'm just going to, like I said, dripping black tears sort of thing. So I just totally realized, since this is supposed to be more like the broken-hearted side, why not like focus on the fact that they have been scarred in the past or whatever, probably. So I also just always want an excuse to use fake blood. So we're just gonna incorporate this and add some like blood, because fake blood's just always fun. I love it. There, it's a lot going on, I'm not gonna lie, but to take it back now, I don't know, I kind of like it. It's good. It's gonna be good. And now I'm going to be adding little spots of fake blood on my cheeks, because I have these little kind of faded black shards that I want to stick out of my face, again, like cuts and wounds, and these are like, I don't know, in my head it's gonna look good, so just fingers crossed. But I think it'd be really cool if it was the fake blood as the base, so it's actually like kind of looks like a real wound. And now I have just glued some cutout hearts onto my cheeks, and it's just with a little bit of Elmer's glue, so it's super easy to just take off, which is what I'm hoping to do, because I'm going to be putting some pink color on top of it and then blending it out and doing that cool, you know, missing the middle of the heart part effect. Also, I finished up these. I think they look pretty cool. The blood is drying. It's drying a little more gray, but honestly, it's still fine. It's drying more gray than I remember. But also, this is kind of an older bottle, but I might just touch it up a little bit at the end so it's a little brighter. But moving on to this, I am just going to be going in with Skip, because we all love a bright pink look. I'm going to be doing it kind of light, because I don't want to accidentally rip these up and ruin the whole thing. Just gonna kind of blended look, make sure it's bright enough to where it'll be extremely noticeable. Okay. Now I'm just going to stick some tweezers and pray it worked. Perfect. Just what I wanted. Oh, come on. Yes. I am going to move on to some highlight. I'm not going to do any blush because obviously those areas are occupied. I'm just going to use a little bit of ring light and pat that into the inner corner here. Same with ring light, I'm going to put that right onto my nose. Ooh, that is bright. Ooh, too much. Let's calm that down a little bit. And last but not least, the lips. Now I'm going to stay true to the two halves and use two different lip colors. They're both MAC. This is Antique Velvet. It's a very dark shade. And then Nouvelle Vogue is this one, which is a pretty little bubblegum pink. And this one is a nice, dark, deep purple undertone brown. So I'm just going to be doing half my lips with this and the other half with that. I'm going to be starting with the lighter color because, again, it's a lot easier to put dark on top of light than light on top of dark. And last but not least, I'm actually going to be blending this darker side out a little bit to make it look more edgy and rugged. So I just realized I never filmed an outro to my video. So I just want to say a huge thank you for watching it if you made it all the way through. I really enjoyed doing the look because I don't get to do so many artistic things that often, but I really enjoyed doing it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, then definitely hit the like button. You can subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I actually do a bunch of different videos. I'm hoping to get into a lot of variety. But yeah, there's also the little bell icon that you can hit if you want to get notified every time I post a new video. Don't know why you'd want to, but it is an option. Anyways, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!